Hello guys, this is Amol Khedkar. I welcome you to this video. You might have heard about the 5G technology, right? Many of you might have questions about what exactly is 5G and why it is so important. And to be honest, many people don't even know about what exactly 5G is. All they know is that 5G is like some, very different sort of thing which they have not experienced it yet, but many people really don't know what exactly 5G is. So I will give you all the answers to all your questions about 5G technology in this video. So please don't forget to watch this video right till the end. And before we get started, please don't forget to subscribe to this channel, because subscriptions really tell me that you guys are liking my content. And please help me to bring more and more videos like these to you guys. So please don't forget to subscribe. Let's get started. So this is an article from CNN Business, and which says, what is 5G? Your questions answered. So what exactly is 5G, right? You might have heard about 1G, 2G, 3G, 4G, and now there is 5G. So 4G is already existing in many countries all over the world. 5G is yet to come, but there is a whole lot of hype regarding 5G. So we'll see in this video why it is like this. 5G is a next generation wireless network technology that's expected to change the way people live and work. Definitely 5G will change everything. Trust me, 5G is so important in today's world, and there are recently articles where US has banned Huawei and ZTE, the two Chinese companies, from implementing 5G technology. That will just tell you how important 5G is in today's world. It will be faster and able to handle more connected devices than the existing 4G LTE network. Improvements that will enable a wave of new kinds of tech products. Definitely 5G will be very fast than 4G network, and it will be able to handle more connected devices than the 4G LTE network. Improvements that will enable a wave of new kinds of tech products. So surely, once 5G gets deployed throughout the world, many different tech products will start using that technology, because internet speed is something that is very important in today's world. That's why 5G will have literally the speed that is very fast than 4G. It will not be like just two times fast or three times fast, but it will literally be like very fast, almost 10 to 20 times fast. Many people are even saying that it will be 50 times or 70 times or even 100 times fast. This is not an exaggeration. Okay, many people really don't know at this point. There are many things that are not known, but people definitely think that 5G will be way faster than 4G. 5G networks began rolling out in the US and around the world in 2018 and are still in their early days, but experts say the potential is huge. So 5G networks started rolling out in the US and in other parts of the world in 2018, but it is in a very small sort of form. It's not like it is not caught up to its potential. So as that's why it says it is still in its very early days, but experts say the potential is huge. So if 5G potential can be utilized to its fullest extent, literally it can revolutionize the entire world landscape. Why 5G? So why exactly you want to have 5G? Companies are racing to have the fastest or largest 5G networks, and countries are competing to be the first to deploy fully functional nationwide 5G. So companies are racing to have fastest or largest 5G networks, that is fine, but even countries are competing with each other. So like US and China and even India, to be the first to deploy fully functional nationwide 5G, because they want their country to progress as soon as possible. That's why they need fully functional nationwide 5G as soon as possible in their countries. That's because the benefits of the new technology are expected to fuel transformative new technologies, not just for consumers but also for businesses, infrastructure, and defense applications. So as you can see here, why is 5G so important? Because the benefits of the new technology, which is the 5G technology, are expected to fuel transformative new technologies. It will literally change the entire ball game, not just for consumers but also for businesses, infrastructure, and defense applications. So not just for consumers, not just for the people who are consuming data from their cell phones, but also for businesses, infrastructure, and defense applications. So the potential of 5G is so huge that you just cannot discount it. Benefits of 5G. So now we'll get into the nitty gritty of things. Much of the hype around 5G has to do with speed, right? Because internet speed is something that is very important in today's world. That's why much of the hype surrounding 5G, it has to do with speed. But there are other perks. There are definitely other things that 5G gives you. 5G will have greater bandwidth, meaning it can handle many more connected devices than previous networks. So if you don't know what bandwidth is, it just in simple words, it just tells you how many devices can be connected to one network at the same time. So if you might have observed, if you're connected to a Wi-Fi network and many more devices start connected to that network, then your speed decreases, right? So the more devices that are connected to that network, the less speed each of the devices get. But with 5G, it will literally just have greater bandwidth. That's why it can handle many more connected devices than previous networks. That means no more spotty service when you are in a crowded area. Exactly true. No more spotty service when you are in a crowded area. So when you are in a crowded area and many people accessing the network, then many people face the problem of network connectivity issues. So that will not be the case with 5G, and it will enable even more connected devices like smart toothbrushes and self-driving cars. That's why this is so important. People always just try to point out that 5G is important because it gives you very high speed. But look at this, it will enable even more connected devices. It will literally have like an internet of things, like smart toothbrushes. There are smart toothbrushes that can literally work like smartphones, and that can clean your entire mouth based on your own need. So this sounds very very a sci-fi sort of thing, but 5G really has this kind of potential. And self-driving cars can also be enabled by 5G. 5G will also reduce latency, the time it takes for a cell phone or other connected device to make a request from a server and get a response, to virtually zero. So by latency, to tell you in simple words, it's like when you're buffering a video on YouTube, say, and when you get that kind of buffering sort of circle, right? But that circle will just vanish altogether if you are using 5G network, because the latency will literally become zero. So the instant you hit the play button, the video will start playing without any interruption whatsoever. And this is not just for simple videos, but even high definition and 4K sort of videos will start playing within a second of you opening the video. And it will make communication with cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services and Microsoft Azure faster and easier. So many things are going to be in the cloud in the near future. That's why 5G will make communication with cloud platforms like Amazon Web Services, which is the AWS service, and Microsoft Azure faster and easier. This is also very very true, and that's why I think the future of the world is going to be work from anywhere. Right now many people are working from home, right? Because of this coronavirus madness. But in the near future, what is going to happen is that people will be able to work from anywhere, because location will become immaterial, because the internet speed will be so huge and so drastic and so fast that you don't even need to be at the workplace to get things done. In fact, it will be much easier for people to just work from anywhere, because that reduces many more overheads of office space, right? Like you don't need to give that person office space or any other things. So that's why I think the future of the work culture is just going to be work from anywhere. Now how does it work? With 5G, signals run over new radio frequencies, which requires updating radios and other equipment on cell towers. There are three different methods for building a 5G network, depending on the type of assets a wireless carrier has. Low band network, wide coverage area but only about 20% faster than 4G. High band network, super fast speeds but signals don't travel well and struggle to move through hard surfaces. And mid band network balances speed and coverage. So, to give you the gist of this, there are three types of ways of building a 5G network. Uh, there are many other ways, but there are three ways. Which are those three ways? Low band network, which is wide coverage area but only about 20% faster than 4G. So this is what is deployed right now in the US and many other parts of the world. So that's why I said that 5G is not fully rolled out as of now. So a low band network is rolled out right now, which has wide coverage area but only about 20% faster than 4G. So it's not that fast than 4G. 20% faster is just nothing, to be honest with you. High band network, super fast speeds, but signals don't travel well and struggle to move through hard surfaces. So high band network has literally super fast speeds, and but the drawback is that signals don't travel well and struggle to move through hard surfaces. And then there is a mid-band network, which balances the speed and coverage paths. So, carriers building superfast 5G networks must install tons of small cell sites about the size of pizza boxes to light poles, walls, or towers, often in relatively small proximity to one another. So many people will not even understand, will not even know how this works. So this channel is the only one that is going to tell you how exactly things work. So please don't forget to subscribe. So carriers building superfast 5G networks like Huawei or ZTE, or say there are many other, like Nokia is also building something like this. They must install tons of small cell sites about the size of pizza boxes. So these cell sites are just about the size of pizza boxes, and they need to be installed on the towers to light poles, walls, or towers, because then your 5G network will become full-fledged, and you can roll it out throughout the entire nation, often in a relatively small proximity to one another. So definitely all these small pizza boxes or small cell sites need to be in relatively small proximity of one another, so that they can build a full-fledged network. For that reason, superfast networks are mostly being deployed city by city. That's why I said 5G is not deployed nationwide right now or worldwide right now. So that's why superfast networks are mostly being deployed city by city right now. Eventually, most US carriers will have a mix of the different network types that will enable both broad coverage and fast speeds. Eventually, most US carriers and many other carriers all over the world will have a mix of the different network types that will enable both broad coverage and fast speeds. So they will just have a mix of both the types, which will involve broad coverage, so coverage in many different places. And so, if you might have observed right now with 4G networks, if you go to some remote places, then you don't get network over there, right? So 5G will just eradicate that kind of problem, and so you will get networks in even the remotest of places. And fast speeds, just how fast will downloads be? Many people really want to know this, right? So just how fast will the downloads be? The fastest 5G networks are expected to be at least 10 times faster than 4G LTE network. So just have a look at this. The fastest 5G networks are expected to be at least 10 times faster than a 4G LTE network, according to Wireless Industry Trade Group GSMA. So GSMA is a very reputed wireless industry trade group. So they are saying that the fastest 5G networks are expected to be at least 10 times faster than 4G LTE network. That's why at the start of this video I told you that they are saying at least 10 times. So at least 10 times can also mean they can go to 20 times, 50 times, 100 times. Nobody knows, but the potential of 5G is very huge, and that's why people are banking on this kind of technology from the start. There are many countries that are competing for 5G technology. There are many companies that are competing for 5G technology. That's why, and the reason for it is this: the fastest 5G networks are expected to be at least 10 times faster than the 4G networks. Some experts say they could eventually be 100 times faster. That's why I said in the start of the video, some experts say they could eventually be 100 times faster. That's fast enough to download a 2-hour movie in fewer than 10 seconds. This looks very sci-fi sort of thing, science fiction sort of thing, but that is very real. That's fast enough to download a 2-hour movie in fewer than 10 seconds. You can download a 2-hour movie in fewer than 10 seconds with 5G network, versus around 7 minutes with 4G. With 4G network, you can download a 2-hour movie with in around 7 minutes, but with 5G, you can download that same movie in 10 seconds. This is so fast that people are not understanding the gravity of this thing. Actual download speeds will depend on number of factors, including location and network traffic. So surely actual download speeds will differ depending on a number of factors like location and network traffic. How can you use it, right? Now people want to know how exactly can you use it. In order to connect to and get the benefits of a 5G network, consumers have to have 5G enabled devices. So you need to have 5G enabled devices. Many cell phones right now are 4G enabled. That's why you need to get 5G enabled devices. Samsung, Motorola, Huawei, LG, OnePlus, and several other device makers have released 5G phones. Samsung, Motorola, Huawei, LG, OnePlus, all these mobile device makers have released 5G phones. Apple is widely expected to release a 5G phone 5G iPhone later in fall of 2020. So this is coming very recently, very early now. Okay, just in the fall of 2020, just like just now, right? I mean, just like 2 months down the line, Apple is widely expected to release a 5G iPhone. Some companies, including manufacturers and the NFL, are also working with carriers to install personal 5G networks so they can reap the benefits without waiting for the nationwide rollout. Some companies, including manufacturers and NFL, which is the National Football League, are also working with carriers to install personal 5G networks. So they will have like a VPN, virtual private network, VPN 5G network, so they can reap the benefits without waiting for the nationwide rollout. So these companies and these manufacturers can just have like a private 5G network, and they don't have to wait for when the 5G will be rolled out throughout the entire of the country. Are there drawbacks? So all good things come with some kind of negative things. So we'll look at the drawbacks now. Significant adoption of 5G is going to take years. Industry trade group GSMA estimates that by 2025 around half of mobile connections will be 5G. The rest will be older tech like 4G and 3G. Significant adoption of 5G is going to take many years. It's not going to be very easy. So industry trade group GSMA estimates that by 2025, so like 5 years down the line, around half of mobile connections will be 5G. The rest will be older tech like 4G or 3G. There are also concerns among regulators and others about the security of 5G. This is also a very important topic. I will make another video covering all of this. But security of 5G is very important because many people doubt that 5G is really very secure. So regulators and others are very concerned about the security of 5G, especially since crucial technologies such as self-driving cars and healthcare systems will be built on top of the network. Why security is so important for 5G is because crucial technologies like self-driving cars and healthcare systems will be built on top of the 5G network. That's why security is so important. That's why US has banned Huawei and ZTE, these two companies, from implementing 5G networks in America. This is a very important thing. In the near future, internet will literally run our entire lives, because as you can see in this video, there will be smart toothbrushes, there will be self-driving cars, there will be healthcare systems built on top of the 5G network. Literally each and every phase of your life will be controlled by the internet. That's why 5G network is so important, and that's why the security of 5G network is so important. So I really wanted to give my opinion on this, and tell you guys why exactly 5G is so important. And I hope you got your answers to all your questions from this video. So please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my channel for more videos like these. Thank you. Have a good day. Bye bye.